This is my first attempt at doing a video from my phone. I'm George Templeton. I'm sitting in the lobby of my hotel, which is the only place where I can get internet for free and thusly able to do something like this. This is at the end of my second day in Israel with my family. It's been a fantastic trip so far, but because I'm mainly doing this for the benefit of Free Radical Network and Foreign Matters, I'm not going to go into all the touristy sightseeing stuff I've seen for the most part. I want to concentrate on one thing today that we did that was a very fantastic thing, and that was a trip to the Templeton Air Force Base, where we got a little explanation about the 116th Squadron, the Defenders of the South, and their history and what they do, and how much work that they have to put in to stay sharp and be ready in case of whatever may happen. And it was really incredible, and we also got to see some historical artifacts, and that was fantastic. And let me start with that. We got a good up-close look, and even got to get into the cockpit of an F-16, and not just any old F-16, but one of the ones that was used to bomb and successfully destroy the Iraqi nuclear reactor in 1981. And it was fascinating because we also got to see video of it from the cockpit, of them targeting and blowing this up, and hear the audio. And it was really interesting. And of course, given what is going on with Iran and the potential for such a scenario like this to happen again, it had some modern day poignancy. I may also add that I asked the person that was kind of briefing us about the squadron about bunker buster bombs, and I got a non-denial denial. I knew that at some point we were going to sell them to the Israelis because it was a talking point during the 2004 election that we were going to do that, and I was curious if that had ever gone through, and I guess this non-denial denial, it has. I have to say, what I would be really curious about to hear from anybody that was involved in the IDF is what they thought of some of the generals over here in the United States, I should say, saying that it was not likely that any attack on any of the underground nuclear facilities would be successful. Because, of course, the Israeli generals have said differently, but I think they have to. I don't think they have a choice. So that was fascinating. It's also fascinating to see how much work it is and who's doing the work. They only really have 3 full-time people, or full-time pilots, with this squadron, the 116th, the Defenders of the South, the Falcons, the Fighting Falcons. And most of their people are reserves who come down once or twice a week and work and practice. And we saw some of that today. We saw planes take off and land, and they fly. And this is what I found incredible. Every 6 months they fly 2,800 sorties every 6 months. So, I mean, these people really do a lot of work, and like athletes do to improve themselves, they're on tape, and they look at the tape, and they see what they can do better. And it's just incredible to think that this little country, which has so many lined up against it, have to rely on folks like this, and yet they not only have they managed to stay in existence, they have thrived in spite of it. And the trip to the Templeton Air Force Base just confirms what great soldiers, as if I didn't know this, or you didn't know this already, that Israel has, but they are really fantastic. And it was a great experience to see that, and it gives me hope that if anybody can get rid of these Iranian reactors underground, it's them. But of course, my other concern, and I even said this to somebody, and I know he didn't react at all, so he may not have understood what I said, or he may have just brushed it off. I said this to him, and I believe this to be true, and I would say it to any of them. I said, I hope when the crunch comes, we can be by your side and be there for you, but I wouldn't count on it. And we've all discussed why that is, and we don't need to go over that. If this works, and if this is all right, and I hope to get comments either via DMs to my Twitter account at Rodent Politics, or on Facebook if it's put on there. I'm hoping that if you guys think this is good, and I'm going to, of course, send it to you if I can, that I will do another one, because we are scheduled, and I don't know if it's going to happen, but we are scheduled to go to the Knesset and actually meet members of Parliament later in the week, which is something I am very much looking forward to. Well, this is George Templeton for Free Radical Network. I'm going to put this on Twitter, and hopefully you can use it, and hopefully it's good, and hopefully I've actually figured out how to do this on my phone. And it's good night from Israel, and I look forward to speaking with you again at some point. Have a good night, everyone.